Professional masked wrestler Genzo Shibata fights his wrestling rival Macadamian Ogre, known professionally as Mao, for the title of world champion, but plans to retire immediately afterwards to open a pet shop. Princess Altina Elgard summons Genzo to a fantasy world to help defeat the demon lord by killing evil beasts infesting the kingdom. Princess is knocked out by Genzo's German suplex, and her pants are exposed before fleeing. Misha and Wolfgang, two criminal beastmen, plan to capture and sell Genzo as a slave. Genzo, an animal lover, overpowers Wolfgang to nuzzle his fur, so Genzo defeats Edgar with another German suplex and rescues Shiger, who explains she owed Edgar money and offered herself as a slave to pay the debt. To avenge Genzo, Edgar plans to steal Hiroyuki. Shiger takes Genzo to the Hunters Guild to work. The guild master sends Genzo to kill dangerous Cerberuses, but Genzo defeats and tames the whole pack, earning him the moniker Beast Killer. Rather than kill evil creatures, Genzo decides to capture and sell them as pets. Along with a giant ant creature Genzo befriends, Shiger also owes money to Genzo for buying a shop to sell beasts in. Genzo hurls a hunter who calls him Beast Killer through a wall. After learning that they will be killing a fire-breathing salamander, Genzo knocks Heat Haze out, while Shiger finds and plans to sell Heat Haze's valuable sword. Genzo easily collects the salamander and rewards it. Shiger repays Edgar, while Wolfgang fears Genzo. Linda Bria Fafnir Gildenrag, a noble half-human, half-dragon girl. Tired of eating beast meat, she flees her house to try new foods. Orc stealing crops becomes more urgent as Genzo adds to his beast collection. Carmilla Van Stein, Linda Bria's vampire maid, finds her missing. Genzo confronts the Orc King in their stronghold. After a close fight, Genzo wins with his trademark German suplex, earning the king's respect and his promise to keep his orcs away from humans. Genzo buys a shop with his reward money but can't get a bank loan to start it up. Linda Bria arrives. Genzo plans to open a pet shop with Shiger and his ant beast friend, but feeding the pets is prohibitively expensive without a bank loan. Genzo finds Linda Bria in his garden and is forced to feed her to stop her trying to eat his dog. Genzo learns that a dragon has been attacking people and decides to capture it. While Shiger finds Heat Haze's new sword, Genzo disguises himself as a wrestler and sets a trap for Linda Bria. Hunters mistake him for a masked pervert kidnapping a young girl. Carmilla confronts them, thinking Genzo is a pervert kidnapper. Genzo outmuscles Carmilla and flees. Linda Bria explains her family is one of 4 noble families who serve the Demon King directly. Carmilla reappears but does not recognize Genzo. Genzo uses holy water and garlic to neutralize Carmilla, while Linda Bria explains her food-related fight. Genzo hires her to work in the shop and calls her Hanako because it is easier to pronounce. When Genzo discovers the dragon attacking people was actually Carmilla sucking their blood, he German suplexes her. Princess Altina, who summoned Genzo, is enraged that her soldiers and priests no longer respect her and call her Princess Buttocks. Money is spent on Hanako's food, Carmilla's alcohol, and pet food. Shiger despairs. A bank representative visits them and tells them their loan will be denied unless they pay the down payment. Genzo makes everyone work for money, but their antics drive Shiger insane because they cost more than they earn. He knocks out Heat Haze for planning to kill the Griffin. While Shiger finds his new holy sword, Griffin parents force their babies to fight, leaving the weakest to die. To save it, he steals the weakest and takes it home, but he is quickly knocked out by Hanako. Carmilla, who is killed by an adult and eaten, is buried in Genzo's garden. Shiger is less concerned than usual because she recently made a small fortune by selling all of Heat Haze's lost swords. Macadamian Ogre had spent his wrestling career losing to Genzo only to have Genzo vanish during the championship. Mao is enraged that their rivalry is unfinished, but he eventually becomes depressed. Shiger makes Genzo get a new job, so Misha and Wolfgang steal his dog Hiroyuki. After Genzo's ant beast friend foiled Misha and Wolfgang's theft of Hiroyuki, Wolfgang developed phobias of both Jinzo and ants. The hunt fails when Jinzo is distracted fighting with Carmilla, and Hanako eats all the mandrakes. After learning that Hiroyuki was almost stolen, Jinzo impresses the locals by wrestling Wolfgang. Their cheers remind Jinzo of his previous encounters with Mao. The Princess of Vampires, Joanna, has been granted permission by the Demon King to summon another Demon King from an alternate world to defeat the hero summoned by Princess Altina, Mao, or Demon King in Japanese. Mao is overjoyed to learn their target is Jinzo. As a result of their childhood rivalry, Joanna wanted to replace Carmilla with a vampire maid to gain an advantage over Hanako, so she had Rose defeat and humiliate Carmilla. Hanako avenged Carmilla's defeat by defeating both Joanna and Rose. Meanwhile, Hanako enjoys watching Jinzo bury Carmilla in the garden to resurrect her after she was killed and eaten by another beast. A blue-haired girl shadows Jinzo. Seals, a blue-haired hunter, approaches Jinzo and is immediately punished for calling him Beast Killer due to Seal's inexperience. The guild master suggested she ask Jinzo for help. Seals is a lizard man with scales on her back and stomach. Jinzo agrees, but Jinzo's enthusiasm fluctuates depending on how much of her scaly body he can see. Shigeru, Carmilla, and Hanako also try to help. Seals reveals she sought Jinzo's training because guild hunters teased her for being a lizard man. Jinzo savagely beats the hunters, while Seals is inspired by Jinzo to improve. The hunters admit their mistakes and apologize, and Jinzo helps them all by insisting Seals duels one of them. A perfect German suplex from Seals beats Carmilla's bad advice. The hunters claim they were frustrated because a new beast has been attacking them and stealing their animals, making it difficult to earn money. Jinzo in his animal mask wrestling outfit. Shigeru and the others realize this is all his fault. The bank representative, Klaus, approaches Jinzo with plans to hold a fighting tournament to benefit Jinzo's shop. Jinzo agrees, missing wrestling. Klaus suggests beast men instead of beasts in the matches. Jinzo sees a kobold he likes and decides to invite her husband. The husband, convinced Jinzo is out to steal his wife, fights him, losing but recalling his youth as a warrior. Her husband has been stolen by Jinzo. The kobold wife is upset. Jinzo tries to ask Wolfgang, but he's still traumatized, so Misha steps in, and Jinzo recruits orcs and hunters. A hooded figure watches the match from afar. Upon learning of the tournament, Princess Altina recognizes Jinzo. Despite Jinzo's complaints about the lack of drama, the matches start well. Misha and Heat Haze team up with Jinzo and Carmilla. Wolfgang, the hooded figure, is forced to replace Heat Haze. Shigeru admits that the rivalry between Wolfgang and Jinzo is entertaining. Jinzo molests Wolfgang for 17 minutes and 26 seconds, so Jinzo declares the tournament a success. To pay for Jinzo's damages, Carmilla's alcohol, and Hanako's food, Shigeru loses her temper. Princess Altina tries to retrieve Jinzo, but he German suplexes her, exposing her panties. Joanna tells Mao about Jinzo's exaggerated victories over a griffin herd and an orc stronghold. Mao defeats a Hiroyuki-like dog beast but reacts oddly to it. Altina reveals Jinzo will defeat the Demon King. The King of Beasts can't be that bad, Jinzo decides. Altina commands her knights to kill Jinzo, but Jinzo defeats them and punishes Altina. Joanna hands Mao her Beastman army. Altina tries to persuade Jinzo to be the hero, but is always punished. Jinzo begins to wonder if meeting the Demon King would be worthwhile. Heat Haze tries to join the guild but is expelled for calling Jinzo Beast Killer, while Shigeru finds his latest sword. The other hunters think Jinzo intends to kill the Demon King and rename him Hero. Hanako fears problems if Jinzo is the hero because her family serves the Demon King. Jinzo punishes Altina for informing him that another Demon King has been summoned. Mao attacks the orc stronghold to find Jinzo. The orcs later show Jinzo a drawing of Mao, explaining he is the new Demon King. Jinzo refuses to protect the citizens, even if Princess Altina Altina begs him to. Genzo finds Hiroyuki gone. Mao finds Genzo's tournament poster and tracks him down. Hiroyuki is at a noble's mansion, says Klaus. The noble reveals he bought Hiroyuki for his daughter and won't return him. She believes that if she buys Hiroyuki back, Genzo will be in debt and forced to be the hero. In response, the nobleman agrees to sell Hiroyuki back at a reduced price, which Shigeru pays from her secret savings, earning Genzo's gratitude. When Genzo discovers Misha, Wolfgang, and Edgar took Hiroyuki, he lashes out. Altina arrives with a large sum of cash, but everyone has left. Genzo returns home to find Joanna, Rose, and Mao. In the midst of Rose, Carmilla, Joanna, and Hanako's petty bickering, Mao angrily interrupts and challenges Genzo to Joanna challenges Hanako, assuming Mao means an evil death match. Everyone agrees to include their fights in the next tournament. Carmilla secretly asks Genzo to teach her wrestling so she can finally beat Rose. Genzo starts Carmilla's training. Klaus and Shigeru enlarge the wrestling ring for a larger crowd. Genzo organizes a tournament with Miss Cha, Wolfgang, and even Princess Altina, with Genzo versus Mao as the final match. After winning the first match, Heat Hayes, Seals, and Altina wrestle demon beasts from Joanna's army, and Altina enjoys humiliation as long as her face is hidden. After that, Kobold Husband and Orc King defeated Joanna's army Cyclops. Joanna's army of gorillas easily defeat Miss Cha and Wolfgang in the third match. Carmilla wrestles Rose in the fourth match and manages to throw her with one of Genzo's moves. Unfortunately, she celebrates too soon, and Rose defeats her with a German suplex. Denying it was a good match, Hanako commends her for fighting for herself, making it Carmilla's victory in her eyes. Carmilla weeps joyously as Genzo prepares to face Mao. Hanako warns Joanna that the Genzo-Mao match may not go as planned. Between violent wrestling moves, they manage to explain what happened and why they are both in this new world. Joanna and Rose worry their Demon King is stupid. Joanna and Rose steal Hiroyuki, forcing Genzo to comically retrieve him. The match ends with Genzo defeating Mao with his trademark German suplex. After their rematch, Mao happily agrees to wrestle again. The hero army defeated the Demon King's army. Then Hanako warns Joanna that it is her duty to observe the hero, and she will not tolerate her interference. In the end, Shigeru lets it go after seeing how it has brought humans and beastmen together. She does make money by selling Genzo's trophy for the rare mithril it contains. Princess Altina looks forward to the next humiliating wrestling match, while Mao leaves to train. Genzo gets a job dealing with a minotaur, and life goes on.